how to address the larger issues of my life. There are no large issues in your life.
Somebody needs to help me understand that.
What is the large issue that you're talking about? It is just about what job to take, which girl to marry,
That about covers it.
where to go for vacation, whether to get married or not get married, These are the things, isn't it? These are not large issues, these are little things in your life. Yes. Oh, is it just a small thing whom I get married to? I'm not saying it's a small thing. But as an issue, it's a small issue, little issue. As a consequence to your life, yes, it has many things. But this is something that human beings have done for millions of years. We have enough experience on these things, isn't it? We know that whatever job we take, whoever we marry, it is just the way we make out of it. Every experience of life, you can make it an enriching experience. Every experience in your life, you can make a curse out of it. See, there is nothing wrong in your job, whatever job you're doing. There's nothing wrong getting this job, there's nothing wrong in losing this job. There's nothing wrong in getting married, there's nothing wrong in getting divorced. There's nothing wrong in not getting married. There is nothing wrong in anything, there is nothing wrong in this or that. But it is just that you make misery out of it, that's wrong. If you do this, you make misery out of it. If you do that, you make misery out of it. That's what is wrong with you. So you got married, is it wrong? That's not the point. There's nothing wrong with it. You did not get married, is it wrong? No, there's nothing wrong with it, that's wonderful too. You got divorced, is it wrong? No, that's also wonderful. It is just that you make misery out of everything, that's what is wrong. You just address that one issue, everything will be settled. That's what we are looking at. How not to make misery out of everything. If this one thing is settled, everything is settled, isn't it? Yes? If you know how to walk through this world joyfully, through marriage and divorce and celibacy and everything, if you know how to walk through this joyfully, what is the problem? Whatever you do is beautiful, isn't it?
Does this mean just living this whole life without realizing self is enough?
That comes next. If you don't even know how to be happy, don't have such goals as realization. They are very far away from you. See, you are just dismissing something very fundamental to your life with a stupid definition. Happiness is not just a state of mind, it is just the basis of the quality of life that you live here, isn't it? Is it such a small thing, happiness? Oh, it's just a state of mind. Is it a small thing? It's the biggest issue, isn't it?
But it doesn't require anything to be happy. In your book you have written, this is the minimum thing to do in life is
Yes.
be happy.
Yes.
And if I do that in the entire life, will I be fulfilling my life?
No. No, I didn't say that. I said, if that is not possible, forget realization and all that nonsense. It's not even in your sphere. If you are capable of going through this world joyfully, then you could talk about going beyond. If you're not even capable of going through this joyfully, talking about beyond is no good. There is no way, I'm telling you. There is simply no way. For a person who is constantly creating inner battles all the time, how will he deal with the bondages of life and how will he transcend that? There's no question. It doesn't arise in your life. So first thing is working towards to be a blissful human being. If that happens, the rest becomes very simple. Because a blissful human being, once your happiness is not at stake, anything that's needed you will do, isn't it? Right now you cannot do what's needed because always your happiness is at stake. You are thinking which is the right thing to do, which is the right thing to do. There is no right thing to do in your life. There is no wrong thing to do in your life. If you know how not to make misery out of everything that you do, whatever you're doing is the right thing. If you're making misery out of everything that you do is the wrong thing. So that's the only issue you have to look at. Others are all petty things. What does it matter which way you do it?
You know, fun fact, when I first watched this video many years ago for the first time, I didn't know what Sadhguru meant by marriage and jobs and all the other things he mentioned are not a big deal. They're actually quite small things. When I first watched that, I was thinking to myself, what? That's one of the biggest things in life. Who you get married to, what kind of job you have, what kind of car you drive, or all these living life circumstances. Now, many years after today, watching this video back, I suddenly realized what I had thought previously, and now I understand closer to what Sadhguru actually means. Which is this: he means that, or the reality is that, your living environment, what you do in your life, what kind of job you have, who you spend time with, who you're married to, those are all great things, yet they're insignificant compared to what your life is actually about, which is just life. Life doesn't have any purpose or meaning or goal. It just is wonderful as it is. You live here for some time and then you go away. Sadhguru also points out, somebody mentions to him, hey, didn't you say, Sadhguru, that if you become happy, then your life is fulfilled? Sadhguru says, no, absolutely not. He made that very clear. Because happiness is the baseline. It's like step one. You have to be happy for you to go on and do other things. But just because you're happy, that doesn't mean anything. Your life isn't some magically solved and your mind encompasses the entire universe, you know what this whole life is all about. Absolutely not. You can see people in the world that are happy, that's very good for them. But do they know the deeper mystical aspects of life and reality, and are they truly fulfilled within themselves? I would argue the answer is no. So it's important to be happy, very important, yet it's much more important for you to figure out what is this life all about, or asking yourself the right questions, or paying attention to the inside of your mind, of your being, or listening to the sounds of the universe and creation. I'm not doing any of this justice, but the fact remains that there is so much deeper to life and to reality than the work, the job, the relationship, you name it, children, whatever else. Those are the periphery of life. How you are, what is inside of this, is the most meaningful and significant aspect of your life. And that needs to be paid attention to. That needs to be examined. You have to look at that. That's very important. Sadhguru also makes a point in this video, which he did so in earlier videos. This is an earlier video or an older video by Sadhguru. That I think because the state of mind of the planet Earth was still so coarse, it's much better now, yet still much improvement to be made. Yet you could kind of almost feel the, I don't want to say frustration, but definitely some kind of agitation in Sadhguru. Agitation is also not the right word, it's the wrong word. But still, you can feel that he has empathy for people, and he has empathy for the amount of suffering that we all go through. And he sees that probably much clearer than anybody else. And him emphasizing and being so passionate, saying the fact that if you do things out of misery, it's the wrong thing. You're doing the wrong thing. The fact remains that anything you do can be right or wrong depending on where you do it from, what is it coming inside of you, how you're doing it, and how you are when you're doing it. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're miserable, you're doing the wrong thing. So you could kind of tell and see that part of history just a few decades ago, the amount of pain and suffering that was on the planet was quite coarse. And Sadhguru was very fierce in the way he was saying that you need to stop this. You need to stop making a mess out of your own mind. And now the future videos, the current videos, he doesn't say this, at least not with the same intensity. Later, he also mentioned this in this video that talking about the beyond is really fruitless and it's useless if you don't have the very basics of life handled. Like, for example, many years ago, I was struggling quite a bit, and the step that I needed to take was make my life better instead of grinding my mind towards realization. You're not going to get there, as Sadhguru mentions, because you need to have at the very least some sense of pleasantness for you to move forward on the spiritual path. If you don't have pleasantness, A, it's going to be an extremely miserable experience, and B, it's going to take much longer than is intended. So step one, the very basics, is just handling your mind right for you to know how to keep this chemistry properly inside of yourself, for you to become happy. That's the ultimate point, is for you to be happy. So we all need to be happy, then the deeper spiritual aspects of life come into play. He also mentions, not in this video, but future videos, that if you have a fear of suffering, you're not going to achieve any great things in your life. Naturally, because the fear of suffering is always going to stop you from moving forward in life. That's where friction comes in. That's the friction that we all experience in our mind, in our body. Moving into the world, trying to do something new, you always encounter this friction if you're not well lubricated. And this friction hurts, it's painful. So you learn, okay, if I'm going to go do something new, it's going to hurt, so I better not do it. This is the fear of suffering. You're afraid of feeling that resistance and that unpleasantness, stepping into a new area of life or doing something new or whatever else. So, how do you overcome this? How do you solve this? You have to be happy. That's step number one. So I'm glad you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the like button, visit my website, shivakailash.com, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon. Have a good day. Goodbye.